Hey guys, what's up? It's munclesonkey, and welcome to my guide on how to get yourself an Inferno Adze, or just for the all fired up minigame in general, since you can always also use this guide to get the Ring of Fire at 62 fire making and the Flame Gloves at 79 fire making, and then of course the Adze requires 92 fire making. So on the screen here is just a list of all the requirements that you will need to get the Adze. So you will need a couple quests: Troll Stronghold and Land of the Goblins. You will also need 31 Prayer, 70 Smithing, 42 Construction, 64 Agility, and 60 Crafting. Those are just to repair some ladders to access some of the beacons. I believe 3 or 4 of them have ladders to repair. You will see the ones that have ladders in the run. So during the run, I only go through the run once. However, if it was your first time, you will need to go through the run twice. The first time you will be placing all of the logs in the beacons, and the second time you'll actually be going through the run itself and lighting all the beacons. So in my inventory here, you'll see all the items that you need to repair the ladders. You'll need 3 jute fibers, 2 planks, 4 iron bars, and 4 nails, and that's it. As long as you have the stats that was shown on the previous screen, you have everything that you need to complete the beacon run. So as I was saying, I do have the Varrock Elite task done, which means I can note all of the logs, but you will not be able to do this because to get the Varrock Elite task done, you do need an Inferno Adze. So for your first time getting the Adze, you will not be able to note all your logs, which means you will have to fill all the beacons with logs. Just don't light them, just fill them with logs, and then do the run a second time and just go around lighting all of the logs. So as you see, I start by the Paterdoma's Temple thing, which is just right by Canifis. If you have done the quest, the one that you require to access Mortmire and the Mauritania place, you will know exactly where this is just by that temple where you save the monk Drezel and all of that. And that's the first one, and you can pretty much do the entire run only using a couple teleports. You do kind of really need the Troll Stronghold teleport, which isn't technically a requirement, but it's really hard to do without it. So if you don't have the Troll Stronghold teleport, I don't really know what to tell you. You might want to be using magic logs just to make sure that the fires burn for longer, because how long these beacons burn for does depend on what kind of logs you're using, and I only used a actually a couple Troll Stronghold teleports, and I was able to get this done in 12 minutes. And the longest burning logs are magic logs, which burn for about 18 minutes total. So if you haven't completed the quest Eadgar's Ruse, or however you pronounce that, you're really going to struggle, so I'd recommend completing that quest before you try this. However, if you do have 92 fire making, you're probably going to have that quest completed. You just remember, if you don't have 92 fire making yet and you're just going for like the Flame Gloves and Ring of Fire, you only have to burn the first 10 beacons that I show you here, and you won't even have to go up to Troll Stronghold, so that's pretty nice. But anyway, as you can see, since I have that Varrock Elite task done, I can just use my noted logs on that little chest thing, and that will just automatically unnote them. However, you're going to have to, I've done this a couple times before, so believe me, I can feel your pain. You're just going to have to add logs to these beacons, teleport to a bank, run back to the area where the beacon is, and then add the logs to the beacon again, and then light them. Well, actually, don't light them. You fill all the beacons with logs first, and then on your once all the logs are in the beacons, and every single beacon has 20 logs in it, then you just go back to the first beacon and run through all the beacons again and light them. But I guess the good thing about that is once you've visited all the beacons, it makes the actual run much easier because you'll be able to know exactly where to go. Of course, you can also just follow along with this guide as I run to all the beacons. Most of them are pretty easy to access. The only annoying ones are where you have to teleport up to Troll Stronghold and run around the Troll Stronghold to access a couple of the beacons. But other than that, it's not such a big deal. So really, the only teleports that you need for this run, the only teleports I personally use for this run is 2 Troll Stronghold teleports. And with those 2 teleports, you can really access all the beacons that you need to. You could even do it in 1 Troll Stronghold teleport if you played your cards right. However, this is just how I'm showing to do it. I didn't bother using any other teleports. However, again, if you haven't completed the quest which unlocks the Troll Stronghold teleport, it might be really important to instead use some teleports. Like, for example, you could use a Bandosian token if you have that, and that'll teleport you really close to, I believe, the Mind Altar, and that will get you really close to the Black Knight's Fortress one, which I'm showing right here. But there's a couple other teleports that you can use, and again, like Lumberyard teleport scrolls that will teleport you very close to the Lumberyard beacon. You can use those. Another one that you can use is a Dig Site pendant that will teleport you really close to the dig site. You can also use the Ice Plateau teleport spell, which is on the Ancient Magic spellbook, and that will get you really close to the last 2 beacons. So those are just some things that you might want to take into consideration if you're struggling. getting all the beacons done in time. And the only other thing I would suggest is using magic logs, since they burn for quite a bit longer. I just decided to use maple logs during this run. And it does take a total of 280 logs, so that I didn't really want to use magics because those are kind of expensive. I guess I could have used U logs, but anyway, the total number of logs is, yeah, or 180, 280, I believe it's 280 because you use 20 logs per beacon. There's 14 beacons times 2, which would be 280. So yeah, that's what I'm going to use, and you do get XP for doing it. I believe you get like the full amount of XP you'd get for actually burning those logs or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how it works out, but I apologize. There's going to be a couple times in this video where it kind of freezes just because my computer does that sometimes. It likes to, freeze when I'm in the middle of recording. Anyway, I was asked not to speed this video up, but unfortunately I did speed it up a little bit, so hopefully it's still okay to follow along with. The problem with not speeding up the video is, for one, it's really hard to think of things to talk about for like the full 14 minutes that this run went on, and for two, it just ends up being a very, very long video, which means a very, very long render and upload time, which isn't always the most fun thing for me personally to deal with. But anyway, coming out along to this other beacon, so I believe this is the first beacon that you have to fix. Like this one here that you see in Berthorpe, you have to use iron bars on it. There will just be an option. As long as you have the iron bars in your inventory, your character will automatically use them on that little ladder there and fix them. And then there's a couple other ones. One other thing that I forgot to include in the hopefully if you're still watching this guide you'll realize this already, but one other thing that I forgot to include is if you are a lower fire making level, you might want to be bringing a super restore potion, because of course going up to the where you'll see me go into the troll stronghold, it does lower your stats, and it also can lower your fire making. So if you don't have 99 fire making, there's a good chance that your fire making level can be reduced, which would stop you from completing it. So you just want to make sure you're bringing along a super restore if you're not already 99 fire making, because otherwise you can really get screwed over when you start doing the one where you go up to God Warrior's dungeon. So whereas there are all the icy winds which can lower your stats and damage you, and I actually almost died there, which was kind of funny because I didn't bring any armor or food, but if you bring armor or food you'll be completely fine. And then from here you want to go into the wilderness, and you can also access this beacon that I'm about to show here just by teleporting the Edgeville lodestone running north, but this is a bit faster way, providing that you have this troll stronghold teleport, because you will need to get back up there. But there is a beacon put in a very trollish location. You can only access it from the wilderness, but it's not in the wilderness. I'm not sure why they did that, but there is a ladder there. I believe I'm not sure if this one requires iron bars or planks or nails to fix, but it probably does. Anyway, it doesn't really matter as long as you have those in your inventory while you're doing this run. Of course, when you are putting all the logs in the beacons, the best thing to do is, of course, bring a beast of burden along with you, and then you can just use that beast of burden to store logs, like if you have a yak or a war tortoise, and that way you can do 2 beacons per run, and you can fill 2 of them with logs rather than just 1. I probably should have mentioned that earlier, but I apologize. Anyway, this is the part where I go up to the God War's dungeon, and this is also the part where I nearly die and my stats are drained, but luckily I have 99 fire making, so it wasn't such a big deal. But if you lollygag here too much, you can have your stats drained, and then you won't be able to light to the final beacon, which can be very, very frustrating when you're all the way up to at the ice plateau, and then you're like, oh wait, I can't light this beacon because my fire making stat is drained, and then you have to wait a long time for it to restore. But this one is the one that requires the 3 jute fibers, so just make sure that you have those along with you, and then you have to repair like a torn sail. I'm not exactly sure why you need a sail to light a fire, but that's just what they decided to do. And then almost done with the beacons here. I believe there are 2 more left, and they're both deep, deep in the wilderness. And you can use the Ice Plateau teleport to access these a little bit faster, but it's not that big of a deal. Since I was able to do this entire run in 12 minutes using only the Troll Stronghold teleports, so for people that are using like extra teleports and stuff, it should be no problem at all. And I believe you have to fix this ladder as well with 2 iron bars, or maybe this is the one that requires the planks and the nails. But either way, that's the last one that you actually have to fix. And looking at the undead trolls there, which is kind of weird. I think they're from the Walguthic Sleep Quest or something like that. 1 beacon left, and the fun part is getting out of the wilderness once you're already out here. I just let myself die in suicide, but of course if you brought items with you, you probably don't want to be doing that, so get ready for a long run out of the wilderness after all this. But it's worth it because you'll be getting your Inferno Adze, which is one of the best items in the game for skilling, in my opinion. It's really, really nice while doing woodcutting, especially with Arctic pines or doing curly roots. It makes both of those methods a very, very good way to train skills. So I absolutely love the Inferno Adze. So anyway, there's the last chest. And that's about all for this video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that it helped, and hopefully you guys can get your Inferno ads now. And if you did, congrats. But anyway, that's about all for me. So thanks for watching, and farewell.